This is the story of a child prodigy named Akames Sharingan. As you can see, he's sleeping very calmly as we begin to wake him up in an annoying fashion. Akame, Akame, Akame! And this is where the story begins.
Sharingan.
What is good, everybody? Akames Sharingan here today with a new special for you guys. And again, I don't know how much I could say thank you very much for the 500 and plus subs that I got so far. I really appreciate it. We're almost up to 1,000 already, thanks to you guys. And for those who are giving me feedback, my Twitter people, my supporters, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even Akamaru, even though he's not part of the video right now because he's too busy chewing on cheese balls. You fat bitch! Today we will be discussing personal scenarios that happened in my present life and probably in the past that were really either very awkward or either really fucked up. So, again, before we get into the video, shoutouts to all the people who gave me 500 and plus subs today. And it is really fucking fantastic to do it. Also, there will be a special event where I will be holding a specific event. And those who want to do a collab with me sometime maybe this week or this weekend, make sure to put your names in the comments below and make sure you give me your PSN. If you're already added to me on PSN, then just message me on PSN and then tell me that. And the following videos that will be followed up on collabs will either be from Lost Song, Naruto, which I'm kind of currently taking a break from, Attack on Titan, J-Stars, or for the new game that will be coming out sometime, I think, November, or October. And that is going to be the new Sword Online game and the not Attack on Titan. And the new, X-Universe game that's coming out in a couple months as well. Today, we are going to be discussing about a moment in high school where I was a freshman, okay? I was a freshman in high school when this event happened. It was the third day of school, and I remember it clear as day. So my friend Gerard, out of nowhere, he was given this idea, as we all know, like doing this and then having to have the other person press on the on your fingers that are actually sticking outward, and that shit hurts like a motherfucker, and they feel the greatest tension ever. I don't know what the fuck we were thinking when we were doing this. So my friend Gerard, for some odd reason, he decided to go to a military teacher, okay? This English teacher was from the former military police. And he was part of the Navy, I think, as well. But, so, my friend Gerard introduced this idea to him, which, oh boy. Ooh, I can remember that day as if it was fucking Genjutsu Paranoid. Okay, so, what happened is that when he introduced him to do this, and my friend pressed on the fingers that were sticking out, the teacher was screaming out of fucking merciful pain that once when he let go, he tried to chase my friend, so he ran for his life, and then out of nowhere, he went from running from downstairs to the gym, just to run upstairs, just to run all the way up to the attic floor, just to run down, just to get back into the teacher's classroom that we were supposed to be in, without him getting screwed up by Mr. Pickney, which was supposedly a former military teacher. So, when So what happened is that when he came back into the classroom, he was tired. He was breathing heavily. He was like, I'm back. And then one of my personal favorite teachers, Miss Jury, which we had class during that time, was he was looking at Gerard like, you okay? He's like, I think so. And we were all looking at him like, you do realize you could have been killed, right? And he was like, yeah. So that when Mr. Pickney came, he was breathing heavily, holding onto the door as if he was fucking from Afghanistan and he came back from that war. He was holding onto the door and crouching down at the same time. He's like, I'm gonna get you next time, you son of a bitch. We were all laughing and oh my god, bro. Yo. Oh man, that was funny, man. That was funny. Another bizarre moment was also during my high school experience in sophomore year. Now, sophomore year, this was really weird. So, we had this teacher. I wouldn't say she was much of a thought, but at the same time, she did seem kind of slutty at the same time. Because, first of all, she wore, like, a blouse. She wasn't really a big fan of, like, pants and all. So, she wore a blouse to cover most of her figure. So, every time when she wore these blouses, she would have bras that would show within the shirt, as if, like, the shirt wasn't dark enough to hide the bra. Most of the time, we saw a pink bra. And my friend Dante, as well as my former friend Aaron. So, let's talk about Dante real quick. So, Dante decided to take a picture of her while she was looking back on the board while she was writing down notes for us to copy, right? So, we had iPads during that time for freshman to senior year. Of course, we had the chance to actually buy these iPads if we wanted to and keep them for ourselves, but we decided not to because, well, we don't want to waste that much fucking money just to keep them. Like, we may as well just go to a new one, make sure we get a fresh one that doesn't have so many gigs wasted, and it's already relatively old, so I keep it. So, my friend Dante, since we had the camera and we had access to the camera, we were not even allowed to take photos of either students or teachers or events that were happening in the school. I don't know why they didn't allow events, but okay. So what happened was that Dante, he was sitting in the front row in the middle, right? Now, our teacher, well, I'm not saying her name. So our teacher decided to fucking write notes. So my friend Dante lifts the iPad down, right? And he puts the camera on. He takes a picture of my teacher's ass, okay? He takes a picture of my teacher's ass. Bro. Bro. Really now? Really? And we were all looking at her. And there was this one time, so before this even happened, she told us that she was leaving. So he decided to have a treasurable moment with her, right? And he decided to take a picture of my teacher's ass. Boy, the funny thing is that he actually, he told me what color her undies were, and I'm like, bruh, why are you telling me this? Hello? Yo, man, that, and the other moment, man, I'm looking at my friend Dante like, yo, you wished you pretty much fucked my teacher, right? You wished you did that. He's like, yeah, I wish I did, man. And so there was this other moment. And this was during Valentine's Day, right? So during Valentine's Day in school, you know, they had these, like, fake-ass roses that could bend and all that shit. So we're coming back from lunch. And my former friend Aaron, out of nowhere, he decides to buy one, right? And once we go upstairs to actually go in to our class, he makes the randomest fucking entrance ever for the fattest nigga I ever met in my life, okay? He made the most randomest and most bizarre entryway that he could have done. So when we get into class, we're all sitting down. He's the only one who is out of the class who's technically late. So you know how in former, like, I don't know if you watch Dancing in the Stars and all that shit, but there was this moment, like, you know how you do a dance move? You slide literally on the ground on your knees, and you're like, oh, and all that shit. So, when he comes into the classroom, he slides all the way to the motherfucking desk. The floor was slippery as it is, so he went further, he hit his head onto the desk, and he had the rose sticking out. Two of the same teachers that I was talking about previously about Dante, and he was saying, will you be mine? So she decides to say, get the hell out of here. So she tells him to get the hell out. He gets out. And on that same day, she was yelling at us because supposedly most of the class during that time gave her a hard time with participating in class. So that means that the overall class average was really bad during that time. It was like in the 70s. An average good class would have been in the 85s. Like, that's good enough. But no, supposedly the class I was in was really fucked up. So, on that same day, right? On that same goddamn day, on that same day, we experienced my friend Aaron, my former friend Aaron, I'm going to restate that. He got yelled at so badly that he said out loud, "She gave me an erection." Nigga. Really now? Really? How do you just say that in the public eye of the classroom and we're all laughing at this dude because of his stupidity or because we're all just assholes in the end? Like, we were all just assholes. Oh, man. There was this, wow. Flashback alert. Yeah, so there was this other moment in fucking freshman year. It was the second day before the day in which the random moment occurred. So there was this kid named Nico, okay? And this kid Nico, he did not know how to like shut the fuck up. He was one of those squeakers that you would think really inhale him. He was more like, but you, I can't do that. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, nigga, shut up. Everybody hated this kid, okay? So, everybody hated this kid. So, what happened is that the cafeteria was closed. Meanwhile, our lunch period was actually lunch for that period. So, our stupid friend or acquaintance here, Nico, decided to fucking try to bash the door open as if he was an FBI agent. So, the instant he did that, the dean came downstairs and fucking put him in detention on the second day, bro. The second day. The fucking second day. There's no teachers that get mad over a student on the second day that I've known of so far, unless in some other state that I don't really feel too familiar with. Because, well, I'm a New Yorker. I'm staying in New York regardless, so, like, fuck that. So, he goes into detention that instant, and he skips 2 periods because of that. Because his detention was an hour and a half, okay? So that hour and a half, we had global studies, and then we have forensic science. So, when he came back, he was like, fuck the police. Because every guard in that school were policemen. So, he comes out of nowhere with fucking Ice Cube beers, and he's like, fuck the police. I'm like, bro, you are looking to get kicked out of this fucking school, don't you? So, this is an experience that happened to me when I wasn't in school, okay? So, this was my ex-girlfriend, Elizabeth, okay? So, my ex-girlfriend at the time, we liked each other. And we'd known each other since we were 13. And then we didn't start going out until I was 15. She was a year ahead of me. So, she was 15. I mean, she was 16. I was 15 during that time. So, what happened is that we both met each other in the bowling alley. Because I am a bowling prodigy. I'm not going to say I'm cocky when I say I'm a prodigy. It's just something I'm really good at, except for basketball. Like, bowling to me was something I was really good at. In 2012, I was introduced and accepted as the state champion of the state. So, I was really happy about that. So, when that happened, I decided to become a coach. So, when that happened, she got very impressed with my status on bowling and all. And at the same time, I was helping her get better in bowling. So, we started liking each other afterwards. So, there was this moment in which she brought her friends along with her, and she wanted me to stay along with her. So, this was before we actually were officially dating. So, what happened is that my grandmother would drop me off to participate in the league that I usually would have joined every Saturday. So, what happened is that after the bowling, I asked Elizabeth if she wanted to go bowl. She said, yeah, sure, I'd love to. So now, we finished the bowling, now she has her friends here. Now, she asked me, can I stay a little bit longer? I'm like, yeah, sure. So we were all goofing around, and I was teasing her a little bit because, well, I'm a dick. So, I was teasing her, so now out of nowhere, she fucking sits on my lap, right? So, we finally started to talk more, and when I was leaving high school to go back home, she texted me out of the blue, which she really doesn't do because we really talk more personally to each other than actually texting. So she told me, can you come see me bowl? So I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll walk the distance. So I walked there. So I walked to the bowling alley and I see her bowl. She's participating with her school and she's in a private school, so she was with all other girls. So I told her, like, maybe issues that maybe was going on with her bowling position. Or what happened is that when she was starting to get annoyed with how she was bowling, I told her, look, what you have to do is, since you're a righty boy, you need to be a little bit more on the left side. Now, when you're on the left side, you're right-handed, so you don't want to stay too much to the right, otherwise you'll be in the gutter. Because she curves her ball as well. So what I usually tell, because I'm still a coach in bowling, so when I tell kids like that are like 8 years old and all, I tell them, like, depending on which position that you swing your hand on, you want to be on the opposite side because you want some distance from the gutter. So I told her that, and then she started getting strikes after I told her how to throw the ball specifically as well. So then she thanked me very much. She gave me a hug, and then she gave me a kiss. So then I felt very comfortable around her ever since then. But then 3 weeks later, out of nowhere, her best friend, Nicole, at least I think that was her, yeah, Nicole. So Nicole comes out of nowhere, and this is during the same week in which I had to participate in my league to actually get some status. So I am now bowling. So then this girl comes out of nowhere. She ruins my mood completely, telling me, oh, that you had no right to kiss my friend, and that you need a woman's approval. I'm like, she don't need your approval. She's not your mother. So, like, why? Why would you care? You're not her mother. Just because it's your friend doesn't mean you got to stick up for everything that she either, one, enjoys, secondly, likes to do, third of all, is interested in. All those three things sound the same, but I mean them in different categories. So, at that moment, she starts insulting me, talking about my birthmark. So, I got offended, right? So, what happened is that, like, oh, nobody's gonna like you with that scar on your face. I'm like, bitch, you better stop right now. So, I got really mad. I was getting to the point where I wanted to fucking punch the shit out of her, bro. And I'm like, nope, that's gonna leave a bad impression. That's going to leave a bad impression for the relationship I'm in with Elizabeth. Because I didn't give a shit what she said, but at the same time, it got me mad. So, now when that happens, I didn't push her, I tapped her. Because I know I'm not supposed to be hitting a girl. So, out of nowhere, she comes at me, tries to roast me for no reason, just so she could get with my former girlfriend. So, after that whole situation, she was actually behind the pole where it's like in a square shape, so you can't even tell if somebody's really there. So, at that same time, she was there, so I didn't even realize that. So, what ended the relationship is the fact that, A, her best friend kind of killed the vibe between us. Secondly, she was behind there and not sticking up for me for what she liked about me. And third of all, I felt like I was scammed. So it was like, did she even really feel that way? So I did more research with her, and then out of nowhere, a week after that, people tell me that, yo, your ex-girlfriend was dating Nicole. And I'm like, fuck! But maybe it'd be interesting to know, like, high school experiences or outside experiences that may have happened to you in the comments below. And yeah, this is Akames Sharingan. And again, I really appreciate you guys for giving me 500 and plus subs. Now let's try to get to that 1K that I promised I try to get to. And yeah, this is Akames Sharingan. Hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys next time. Bye!